All right, folks. So today I want to talk just a little bit about the Hantavirus Freakout. Now, there's this just growing worry. It's still relatively novel, new, the reaction at least. So I believe the actual outbreak of this virus took place last month, April 1st. But now there's been a little bit more attention after there have been deaths from a ship that left, I think, the southern port of Argentina. And, there were obviously like just citizens from different countries involved here. And now it seems like about 45 minutes ago, President Trump was briefed about this virus and how there could be a possibility of an outbreak. Um, anyway, so what are the reasons why some Americans might get worried about this situation? So let's take a look. Now, before we talk about the specifics of this virus itself, well, one thing's already imminent, and that's, it gives them a very nasty flashback. It gives us a really scary flashback of the time we had COVID in 2019. Now, you could think about that catastrophe from many different angles here. On the one hand, you had people who were really worried and concerned about the side effects and just the overall effects of COVID on health, and they were worried they might get it, they might suffer from it, they might even die from it. On the other hand, you had folks who were more concerned about the state of the economy, or quite worried about major restrictions, because we did have government lockdowns and shutdowns and whatnot. Um, so there's restrictions, economic concerns, and of course we had people who were discriminated during that time as well. Notably people of East Asian descent and Asian descent and others too. So it was a tough period of time for a lot of people. Now, when you think about this hantavirus, the situation reminds us of COVID. And now I want to focus on the specifics of the hantavirus itself and why this can instill fear on people who are just getting informed about this virus. So, sorry, it's my dog. So, it's a serious lung illness in the Americas. As far as we know, hantaviruses can cause a kind of pulmonary syndrome called HPS, hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. And this basically means that fluid is going to build up in your lungs, which already is bad news, and your breathing rate is going to suffer quite a bit. And basically, you're going to be breathing rapidly, and it just worsens. And in severe cases, it requires intensive care. So they have to send you to ICU or something, and you may need most likely support when it comes to ventilation so that you can actually breathe. Otherwise, you'll probably suffocate to death. The other thing is there's a high mortality rate if you are indeed infected. So, and this is even if you do receive some kind of treatment. So in the US, of the cases that involve infection, 1/3 of the reported HPS cases have been fatal. So 1 in 3 people died, apparently. Another factor that may drive people to worry about this situation, this virus, is the exposure can happen unexpectedly when you're really not expecting it at all. You're not really paying attention to it. So people usually become infected by breathing in just contaminated particles that come from urine. And so urine droppings, poop, right? Or even saliva of infected rodents. So rodents are the ones that usually carry this. And particularly deer mice. I guess they're notorious for passing this virus on. So, cleaning cabins, sheds, garages, barns, unused spaces can kind of stir this contaminated dust like into the air. And once we inhale that, that's when the exposure takes effect. Really scary when you think about that. So, and the symptoms when they start out, they do feel like a flu of some sorts. So, you have these early signs of fever, muscle ache, fatigue, headache, and it could seem or appear to be mild at first, but then it could lead to this kind of delayed recognition because people are not taking the situation seriously. But then, breathing problems can develop later on and then worsen rapidly, right? It just suddenly you notice it becomes a big deal now. And the thing is, like, there's no specific cure for it either, as far as we know. So treatment is mainly just in terms of supportive care, not medical care. So early medical attention, it does improve survival, but the problem is, again, there's no widely used like antiviral cure or like a routine vaccine that's made for this virus. And occasional news coverage just increases awareness about this virus. And obviously, when the public finds out about this, or they hear that there's like a cluster of cases that appear on the news, 7 Americans contracted this virus or something like that. It's gonna interest spikes when it comes to this news. People want to know, more about it because this disease is just novel to them. It's unfamiliar. It's unknown, and the fact that they know if you contract it, if you're infected by it, it's severe. It's fatal. So that does cause panic. It does cause nationwide worry. Having said that, again, just to reiterate a point I made early in this video, the hantavirus is not highly contagious between people in most cases. So the chances of getting infected from another person is slim. It's rare. So that's some good news there. It's a little bit reassuring. So you don't want to become too OCD about this. And the main prevention focus is avoiding contact with just rodent infestations that lead to this event, right? So you want to clean possibly contaminated areas in a safe way. You want to go about it in a safe manner. Otherwise, if that dust just shoots into the air and you inhale it, unfortunately, there's just that chance of contracting it. So so this is just something to be aware of. It's still early. We don't have like a major breakout yet. Hopefully that won't be the case. It'll be taken care of. And yeah, if anything does happen, if there are any other major news-related updates that emerge concerning the hantavirus, I'll be sure to inform you.